There's not a lot of players I can say that I feared to play against. And I have to be really honest here and say that when I knew I played the Pittsburgh Penguins and Mario was in the lineup, I would think about it like all night, and sometimes I have trouble sleeping. I was scared a little bit there.
Remember this goal?
Alley play continues, back to Lemieux. Lemieux comes in, shoots and scores! Mario Lemieux drills it in, his 40th of the year.
Well, Dominic Roussel does.
And Roussel just did not play that shot particularly well.
And he talks about it on this episode of I Was in Net 4. Mario Lemieux started the 1992-93 season on just a ridiculous pace. He was fresh off back-to-back Stanley Cups and now had his sights set on another goal, breaking Wayne Gretzky's record of 215 points in one season, and everyone was taking notice.
So we watched the highlights every morning before practice, NHL highlights, and it's not just when he played against us, it's also seeing him scoring those amazing goals against everyone. We talked about him a lot, before games. Guys, many times my defenseman would ask me, what should I do? Like, he's coming one-on-one on me. If I'm going to him, he's going to go around me. If I back off, he's going to take the space and shoot or pass. Guys were like completely confused on how to play him.
And goalies around the league were doing everything they could to try to figure out how to stop number 66.
Yeah, I had some interesting conversations with Ron Hextall, my partner in Philly. We had discussions the day before we played the Mario. Talked about, like, what should we do? Like, on breakaways, we noticed that he liked to go top shelf on the left side, but then he would also fake that and shoot 5-0 or deke. Like, it was so hard to figure out. We would just laugh at it sometimes the next day and like, wow, look bad on that one.
After 40 games, he already had 104 points, and if he was able to keep up that pace, he would have a shot at rewriting the record book. But then came January 12th.
Mario Lemieux. He seems so untouchable on the ice, but now Mario Lemieux has been touched by cancer.
Yeah, it is scary. Every time you hear the word cancer, it's a scary thing. Like you guys all know, as soon as I'm 100%, I'll be back. Now my health is certainly more important than playing hockey.
It was definitely a shock for everyone. And it just made the league get better and better. He's one of those guys, as Wayne Gretzky was the same thing. So it was a shock, and everybody talked about it. Nobody said, "Oh, we're not going to have to play him." I didn't hear anybody say that. We all said, "Well, hopefully he'll get better. This is awful bad news."
It has been recommended that he undergo 4 weeks of radiation treatment. His prognosis is excellent.
Lemieux's final treatment came on March the 2nd, while his Penguin teammates were getting set to play the Flyers in Philly, and Mario wanted to play. Now, after his flight had been delayed multiple times because of bad weather, he picked up the phone and chartered a plane. And at around 5:15, just strolled into the Spectrum like it was any old hockey game. And oh yeah, no one, not even his own Penguin teammates, knew he was coming.
Jumped on the ice in warm-ups, and we're like, what's going on? Mario's on the ice. Is he playing? Is he not playing? Everybody's wondering if he's playing or not. And looked at each other a little bit on the ice and looked at some of the guys, and everybody's like, what's going on here? And then after warm-ups before the game, coach comes in and he tells us, all right, so it looks like Mario's going to play tonight. So game plan change right there.
Tonight, the Penguins go against Philadelphia, but that's not the big story. The big story is the return of center iceman Mario Lemieux to the Penguin lineup. Mario has missed 23 games undergoing treatment for Hodgkin's disease.
We were wondering how the crowd would react because the Penguins were huge rivals. I was kind of a little bit worried. I was hoping the crowd wouldn't get on him or boo or something.
Now, believe it or not, that was a legitimate concern. You see, Philadelphia sports fans are not known to be very welcoming to outsiders. After all, we are talking about a fan base that is famous for booing Santa Claus. But there would be no booing on this night.
Well, whether they were standing already or not, this is a standing ovation for Mario Lemieux here at the Spectrum, and it's nice to see.
Chills, like guys had chills. I'm sure I was not the only one, but I had chills during that standing ovation because of the moment and because of the reaction of the fans towards a Pittsburgh Penguins player, So it was a very memorable moment, definitely, for everyone.
When the puck finally dropped, the Flyers actually had a 3-1 lead after 20 minutes, and Lemieux was held off the score sheet. But But in the second period,
Continues back to Lemieux. Lemieux comes in, shoots and scores! Mario Lemieux drills it in, his 40th of the year. And the Penguins make it 3-2. Ah, scratch my back with a hacksaw. Mario Lemieux.
You know, he's coming in on my right side, and he can shoot. He has the option to shoot or pass. I know that. He can also come in and deke, and that's the problem with Mario. And so he's looking in the slot like if he's passing. So I'm trying to stay square to him the whole time. But when he makes his move with his stick, I'm 100% sure he's passing. I have no doubt in my mind that's a pass. And he's not passing, he's shooting. And I looked at the replay, and his stick is going, like his motion is going towards the slot. And he manages to shoot it to the net between my legs. And I was, wow, okay, what can I do? And you know what? When you're a goalie, you really focus on the puck, and you really see that puck really well. And I don't remember even seeing the puck. It was like magic.
less than 2 minutes later, Lemieux would add an assist, and Roussel's night was done. But he still couldn't get that goal out of his head.
I actually watched it about 10 times with Bill Denis was our head coach, and watched the tape and tried to figure out. And I just, you know, yeah, I thought he was passing and he shot it, and I said, is it a bad goal? And Bill's, you know, well, maybe against another player it would have been a bad goal.
The Flyers would end up winning the game 5-4, but that night was all about Mario. And the game kicked off arguably the greatest 20-game scoring stretch in NHL history. Lemieux would average 2.8 points per game, turn a 12-point deficit into a 12-point win in the scoring race, and win every award that wasn't nailed down. And all the while, Roussel was watching along.
I was looking at what he was doing on a daily basis, was looking at the newspaper and see how many points he was getting every night. And we're talking, and the guys were talking, he's going to catch LaFontaine. He's going to catch him. And this was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in sports, what he was able to do. It really shows that he was on, you know, you got the NHL guys, you got the all-star players, he was like even above that.
And all of these years later, Roussel is no longer thinking about what he did wrong on that goal.
The first thought is definitely, I was there when this happened, and historical moment, and forget about the goal, I don't care. And it's great memories even to talk about it. He was the most amazing player I played against, definitely. And so no, I don't care about the goal. I care about that I was there for that special time.